y'all, welcome back to Black History Podcast with your girl Jasmine Ivory. Today I'm just hopping on here to talk about arrogance and self-righteousness within Christians or people who are supposedly highly inclined spiritually and intuitively inclined with Christ, right? Because I'm noticing this thing where people are starting to expose themselves for who they really are. And it's a sad thing to see. It's very sad. It's crazy. Yeah, people have been speaking from a place of arrogance, very boastful, like I said before, self-righteous, and very prideful, and it don't look too good. It don't look too good. Specifically when people talk about other people who are spiritually inclined and in tune with God and their spirituality and who they are, whose they are, and who God has created and called them to be. When speaking on other people, you definitely have to use a certain tone. And let me tell you, a lot is being exposed. People's true colors are starting to show and come out as other believers of Christ. Like I was saying before, when it comes to them talking about people who use profanity or who curse, and equating people like that who curse and say that they still believe in Christ, right? But they curse. You know, that's their only flaw. That's their only vice. That's what they'll call it, vice or kryptonite or whatever, is cursing or whatever. And I'm not saying that, yeah, we're supposed to encourage and promote that type of thing within the spiritual realm or whatever the case may be when it comes to people representing or being representatives of Christ. I'm not saying that we're supposed to condone that at all. No. However, from my own personal experience, what I am saying, because I do curse. But when I say I curse, I'm not saying like I'm just going all out the house. As soon as I wake up, I'm ready to curse. Or as soon as, something doesn't go my way or not as I anticipated or planned, then I'm just cursing up a storm. I'm not that type of person personally. So I may say a curse word or two if somebody is telling me something that I think is completely messed up. Like I may say, damn, or oh, hell no, or something like that. Like I really would. I'm just being truthful, honest, and raw with mine. And that's the thing. People don't like to see that. People don't want you to show that you are still human, even though you still have a tightly connected relationship with Christ. At the end of the day, people are still human. As much as we strive for perfection, let's just keep it a buck. None of us are perfect. None of us will ever be perfect. But I am just saying, and in that, you have to meet people where they are. You cannot be so quick to judge. You cannot be so quick to think you're almighty and high almighty and just a super duper saint, as if you're the person that's sitting next to Christ, whom sits on the throne, who looks down, who doesn't sleep, who doesn't slumber. You cannot act as if you are him. It is no human's place to act as if they are Christ themselves, having the audacity and the authority to talk down or to cast out other people simply because they're not walking in the same direction that you're walking, or you feel like they should take the same path as you, simply because you are who you are and that's what you choose to do. You cannot fault people for that. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't have an opinion as far as yeah, it's wrong, but hey, it's wrong, but I'm not going to sit there and judge. There's a difference between saying that, hey, this person is wrong, they should be trying to make a change and become better for Christ, but I'm just going to meet them where they are, because at the end of the day, this person is a good person. They still walk a line of Christness and righteousness as far as what they're doing in their community, what they do for their family, their friends, the people that they love, the loyalty that they have, the trust, the communication that they exalt, and the grace that they exalt towards others. Because of that, I'm going to overlook whatever they may say out of their mouth, their cursing or whatever. If that's the only fault that they have, then grace should be shown. That's what I'm saying. That's where I feel like people should come from, instead of being so quick to just become conceited and self-righteous and thinking that they're above the law and above everybody else who curse simply because they don't curse. Meanwhile, let's keep in mind, mind you, that they're the same people who are wearing and rocking the paraphernalia of a person who cursed. And you know, this is, of course, never disrespectful to those who have passed along or passed away. So come on now, we all know I would never disrespect anyone like that. If you know me, then you know. But to be clear, because you have to specify every little thing when it comes to the internet, so that your words won't be misinterpreted and that your tone won't be mistaken for something that it's not. So I'm using Nipsey Hussle as an example, because the audacity of another human to say that God doesn't bless the profane, people who use profanity. And this is what I say, when you have to be very careful and selective of your words. And this is a lesson learned for me and on my behalf, because I feel like someone took what I said about myself, as far as like, you know, I'm not all the way there because I curse. I feel like someone of a particular caliber who has all of these followers and starting to feel themselves a little bit too much, and subscribers and starting to feel themselves a little bit too much, kind of took what I said and ran with it at their own leisure. So I said in the previous video, you know, I'm not all the way there because I curse. But by me saying that, it doesn't deflect on the fact that God still uses me. God still does bless me. God does deliver. He's an on-time God. So whenever I feel like I'm in distress or in need, or I need healing spiritually from the inside out, he's there. Like, he knows my heart, my spirit, my soul. He implanted who I am in me and within me, so I know who I am and whose I am, and so does he. So really, his opinion is the only opinion that matters. And yes, he still blesses people in spite of, because he knows, that's all my child doing is cursing, and she don't even curse that much, or he doesn't even curse that much, and that's the only thing that they're doing. As many things as there is out there in the world for them to be getting a hold of, or to dib and dab in, all they doing is using damn or hell no every now and then. You think God is really going to send someone to the pits of hell for that? You really think God is not going to release blessings and restoration upon people who are only doing that? As much as going on in the world, as crazy and chaotic as people are becoming, and what they're doing in their actions, killing people, stabbing people, harming children who come from their very own womb, they're taking them out of here left and right. And the only thing that the high almighty and the ultimate righteous folks can sit up there and do is complain about somebody cursing. You don't know the person. You don't know what they're about. You're only getting information from that very person to use against them. But you're supposed to be a Christian. And this is why people, I do see, like I've said before plenty of times on some of my previous videos, this is the very reason why people steer away from Christ and from God. Because when you're listening to that information and people are casting out and judging others for small, minute things, like petty, juvenile things, I see why they don't go to church. And yes, it's an excuse to an extent, but I really do see why. And it's become more evident day by day. It's becoming more evident as to why. And it's just, that's just so crazy to me. Like, out of everything that's going on in the world, that's what you have the audacity to say? From your arrogance, from you wanting to be boastful, from your conceited mindset and mind frame, from your self-righteousness, from an egotistical point of view, that's the only thing that this person had to say. And he wouldn't even have that to say had it not been for me exposing myself in my own video, for the sake of helping somebody else know that you do not have to be perfect in order for Christ to love you. That's the only reason why I be sharing some stuff. And this is why I didn't even want to do YouTube, because you can't be yourself. And then when you start to talk about Christ, and it's like people hold you all the way up here, like surpassed the totem pole or the bar or whatever, as if you're not still human. Like, I don't get what people don't understand about that. Everyone walking this earth are still human. No, it's not an excuse to do things that go against what Christ has laid out on the forefront for us to do. But I personally, I meet people where they are. I meet people where they are because I know everyone is always going to be a work in progress. I can fix my cursing, and then something else may still, I may lack in another area today or tomorrow. So it's still always going to be room for improvement and room for error with any human being. So to sit up there and say that basically you can't be human, basically nobody should be walking the planet Earth then, because nobody is going to ever fulfill the promise of being perfect. That no one can do that. It's just unfortunate. No one can do that if we're being realistic. So it's just like, you might as well just say you don't want nobody to exist on this earth except for you, because you're the most perfect thing walking, as if your name is Christ when it's not. So it's very bizarre that people think like that. And this is the last time I'm going to speak on it, because I've already spoken on it once. I feel like me speaking on it twice is doing a bit too much. That means for me, it lets me know that I'm a broken record, and that I'm trying to speak to someone who doesn't have the mental capacity to think outside of their own thoughts and opinions, and to see things on a broader spectrum and a broader scale. It lets me know that I'm talking to someone who is who chooses to intentionally be ignorant. So yeah, it's gonna be the last time I speak on that. And let's do better. Let's work on how we deliver our messages. Let's work on our tone. Let's make sure we're not coming from a place of arrogance and pride and ego and boastfulness. We just have to do better, because this is just crazy. It's the same reason why I personally, and lo and behold, this doesn't get used against me, that even myself back in October, I didn't go to church for the whole month. Like, I was watching it on TV, but I just needed that time and that month to just really, really be in tune with just me and Christ. I didn't feel like being around everyone else in the church house. I didn't feel like just being around people. And it's not that I don't like people. I actually love people, but I still, you know how it is with people. It doesn't mean that you don't love Christ, because you've now grown to understand boundaries. Lo and behold, somebody complains about me saying that. But it's okay if you know boundaries, but it's not to say that I don't like people, which is why I didn't go to church. I'm just saying I just really needed to be in tune and in touch with God, and to just feel his presence, and to know that he hears my cries, that he hears me specifically, and that I hear him clearly, clear as day, and that I know it's his voice and him and his sound, and not anyone else's. So yeah, it's just, I didn't even go to church all October of 2022, because I was just like, and my parents were very worried and concerned, because that's not like me. But I'm coming to terms with, like, it's okay if I don't go to church every single time. It doesn't mean that I don't have a relationship with Christ. In fact, I'm not going to church because I want to solely and solemnly hear directly from Christ, and I need to be by myself in order for me to do that and for that to come to light. So, and I just didn't feel like feeling all of these, like, I feel like sometimes when I be in a church house, I just be feeling too many spirits that, like, do have to work on themselves. And sometimes I just don't feel like being overbeared with that, because I feel like God has given me this thing, multiple gifts. And it's just like, I can feel from me being, I guess, like an empath, I can feel like, I don't know, it's just really weird. So I just didn't feel like dealing with that when I was in church. So that's another reason why. But staying on topic, Jazz. Stay on topic, girl. But yeah, so it's just like, now I do kind of see why people steer away from the church, though. And then why it becomes a battle with them to know Christ, because you're listening to people who are supposed to be representatives of Christ, and the information that they're spewing and how they're talking and the direction in which their message is going and the tone that they're using is just completely unacceptable. Completely unacceptable. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? It's like God is not even a God of condemnation. Yet somehow humans have felt that they have the authority over God to condemn other humans. As if that's really going to convict their spirit and convict their heart. Okay, that's cute. That is real cute. No, it's not. In case you're not aware of where I'm going here, that was sarcasm. So, of course, it's not cute. There's nothing cute about it. But it's just, I had to take a few days off. I had to take a few days and just sit in the audacity of people, because it seems like people, like, it makes me question, like, are they selling audacity for 5 cents or something during inflation? Because everybody got it nowadays. Everybody got it. Gotta be selling it for a penny, a nickel, or a dime. Gotta be selling it. Gotta be selling it. Too many people got it, for real. It's the audacity for me. It's the nerve for me. Oh, child. I had to really sit and talk to God these last 3 days, because it's just like initially what I wanted to come on here and say, and initially the direction that I was going to go with this, it wasn't going to be a Christ. It wasn't about to be a Christ. I'm going to tell y'all like it is. It was not about to be, it wasn't about to come from the spirit of a righteous place, from a Christ-like place, from a godly place. That wasn't it. I was about to go crazy with my mouth. I had to really sit in that spirit. And it was a spirit of anger. It was a spirit of rage. I had to sit in that. I had to sit in that so I can understand that it wasn't a spirit of God, for one. Like, truly, 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 truly understand that it was not a spirit of God, and that I needed to release that spirit immediately. And so for the past 3 days, that's what I've been doing. So I know God is real, because I've literally been talking to God, and I've been like, God, release me from this spirit of rage and anger, because it's not of you. Anything that's not of you, I don't want any parts of it. And I know this is not of you, because you are not a God of anger, of frustration, of confusion, of rage. The Bible says, be slow to anger. So I know for a fact that how I was feeling after watching that video. I had to cut the video off that I was watching on YouTube. I had to cut it off, because I'm like, this is, I'm gonna cut it off, because how dare you? How freaking dare you, with your egotistical behind, get on here and talk how you're talking. Mr. High Almighty, like, how dare you? People, again, humans will be humans. And even though still this person sat up there and said what they said and how they said it and how it was delivered, I forgive, I understand. I'm going to meet that person where they are and let bygones be bygones, because that's the true righteous thing to do. And it's not for play, it's not for pretend, it's not me just saying this on camera. That's truly what a representative of Christ is. That's how you act. That's how you respond. That's where you steer your messages from a right place, from a pure, genuine place, not a place of pride and of ego and boast. When did we lose sight of that? Why did we lose sight of that? Why are you losing sight of that? Of purity and delivering messages the right way. So yes, I really just have to ask God, please remove this spirit from me, because I know it's not of you. Anything that's not of you, dear Lord, please relinquish me and set me free from it and get me out of this bondage, because it's not good. It's not good. Because when I say, talk about somebody feeling conviction, oh, they was going to feel conviction, but it wasn't going to be from a place of righteousness, which is not of God. So yeah, so God had to work through me because I was not there for the past 3 days. That wasn't even me. So I'm just like, that was the old me, not the new me, but the old me. It came back for a second, came back for a minute. And it happens. It happens more often than people would say or admit, but it happens. The thing about it is that we can choose to revert back to that old person or remember how long we've taken to get to where we are and where we're trying to go to make sure that we don't go back to that old person. So, oh Lord Jesus, he knows. I had to sit in that. I had to overcome that. Today's Sunday. I didn't even go to church today because I was like, God, Lord, it's just the last day. I just need you to just make sure it's all out of me before I get on this camera today. So I just need you to make sure it's all out of me. So I just kind of meditated and talked to him and figure out how I was going to get this message across without taking it to another place and going another place. But yeah, I just like dude, you're wearing paraphernalia of Nipsey Hussle. Like, you're wearing his clothes in support of him. Like, you're wearing, do you not know who he was as a person? Do you not know every other word that came out of his mouth was a curse word, yet God still used him to fulfill his prophecy and his plan here on earth? Stop telling people who God will and will not use, who God will and will not bless based on minor mistakes and the least things that people should be worried about in today's world and society with everything going on. Stop doing that. Do not do that, because you're making everybody else who represent God look bad and look horrible and look just like you, and we're not. Because I'm not judgmental. I'm not judging Jada Waiter. I'm not judging Cardi B. Maybe, and I will never wish anything on anybody, but maybe it's because I've experienced so many close deaths as to why my mindset and my mind frame has completely shifted 180 degrees. Because once that happens, it like triggers something inside of you. It enlightens or sparks something inside of you to not drag people, to not misunderstand people, to not judge people. That's what it has done for me. And I see God and his works in such different ways now. The last thing that I'm ready to do is run off the bar, run off the handle and judge someone. I'm not going to do it. I don't care who feels that it's the right thing to do, or who feels like, oh, we're being too lenient on these people. You're being too slap on the wrist with these people, and that's the problem. Listen, if you're stuck on stupid and stuck on ignorant and can't really see the big picture, if you need something tragic to happen for you to understand that, then God be with you. I rebuke that in the name of Jesus, but God be with you, because when are people going to understand? It's not about being quick to judge someone and to shun someone, to talk down on people who you feel are less than and below you on a Christian or a spiritual scale or scope of things. Like, people just have the nerve, bro. People just have the nerve. Like I said, let's be clear. I don't wish harm or anything bad on anyone, but it's like you wonder, is that the only thing that's going to take for people to wake up and understand that what you're over here talking about and preaching about and the people you're talking down on, that is so irrelevant. What you're talking about, there are bigger issues out here that we need to worry about. What this other stuff that you're seeing, you feel like people shouldn't like celebrities for the simple fact that they're a celebrity who represent a certain type of thing or who has a certain reputation. Child, I don't care about that, and I will never care about that. And screw you if you do care about stuff like that, because I'm gonna comment and I'm gonna like and I'm gonna do whatever I feel like doing from a place of righteousness and from a place of no judgment. And I'm going to do it when I want to. because I'm not stupid and I'm not ignorant. No, if they're sitting up there on Instagram with a thong bathing suit on or something like that, I do not like those posts. And I think that's what people fail to realize, because they don't see the things that you don't do. Then it's easy for them to speak on the things that you allow them to speak on when it's referencing you or anybody else for that matter. You're only able to speak on it because that's what I allowed you to speak on. Like, but if you knew me, you would know that I'm not sitting up here liking everybody pictures when they posting thong, whoever it may be, posting thongs, whatever the popular celebrities are. If they're posting themselves in thong bathing suits, I don't like that. I do not like that. If they posting themselves all up on the guy, butt naked, half naked, or whatever the case may be, I don't like that. When they post something presentable and they're wearing fully clothed or whatever the case may be, then I'll like that. If and I'm looking at everything now. I'm looking at the captions. I'm looking at, this is from people with blue marks and people without blue check marks. I'm looking at everything based on, and that's how I'm going to determine if I'm going to like something. And even if I don't like it, I'm still not going to judge them. I'm going to look at it like, no, I wouldn't dare do that as a representative of Christ, and I wouldn't wear that as a representative of Christ. However, I don't know where they're at on their spiritual spectrum and on their spiritual scale. I don't know their journey with Christ. So I don't know where they may be. Now, stuff like that, that's common sense. It's like, no, I'm not going to be a person representing Christ and then I'm liking people pictures who they just butt naked, or even dudes pictures who I feel like sometimes, it'd be thirst traps. They talk about Christ, but you're wearing a towel wrapped around you with no drawers on and your whole package is out. But you're talking about Christ. Now, that stuff is just common sense. Now, that's just common sense. Come on now. Now, I don't agree with stuff like that. That's just, you gotta be kidding me, right? But if it's just like somebody who just finished working out, and we know that they've been working out for years and not wearing a shirt for years, and have the camera recording just because they are like in the middle of a workout, or they took a break from working out in order to even bless us with the video, I'm not going to judge anybody based off of that. I'm not going to sit there and not like the video because of that, because I know that's something that's normal for that person. That just happened actually, and that's why I'm even speaking on that, because it's a gentleman that I follow, a young guy. He's 26. And I would say his name, but I'm not, because I don't know if he would appreciate that, even though it's nothing bad. Of course, you can't say anything bad about him, but his initials is PC. I would say that. His initials is PC, and apparently he got a lot of slack because he recently posted a video, his latest video, and that's what it was happening. I think he's been on YouTube for like 3 years, if I'm not mistaken. I recently just followed him last year, so I'm just now starting to like discover who he is and get to know him through like his lives on Instagram and stuff like that. And he's a pretty cool dude. He's I like him because of what he stands for, and I know that he's a representative of Christ. So yeah, I just started following him or whatever, and I went back to some old videos from when he first started. I just like skip and randomly click ones. I'm like, okay, let me see how he started off and see how he's grown like over time since he's been on YouTube. So all of his videos are the same. Like, he's always working out. He's always teaching people how to eat healthy and organic and plant-based and stuff like that. And that's the majority of like his daily routine. So it's nothing new. It's nothing out of the blue. It's just, that's who he is, right? And apparently people started writing him, and I don't know, I guess DMing or messaging him about him having his shirt off in his video. And I'm like, this gentleman has been doing this for years. And it's always that one person who feel like they have such authority to speak on something that they have no business speaking on, because, oh, today you decided that you want your child to watch his channel, so now he has to change his entire being and who he is to fit and be suitable for you and your child. Like, ma'am or sir, whoever these people were that was writing him, please go find a YouTube channel that you feel is more suitable and appropriate, age appropriate for your child to watch, where there's going to be like assurance that nobody will have their shirt off. Like, it wasn't even a distraction. His video was not even a distraction. It's like, come on. Is people just have the audacity, I'm telling y'all, these people who think that they are just super saints. Super saints. I don't know what else to say. Because I'm just tired of sounding like a broken record. Like I said, this will be the last time I speak specifically on this topic. And if I ever run across a video again and it's still somebody being ignorant, or that same person is being ignorant, unsubscribe. Well, I think I'm going to do that anyway. Unsubscribe and unfollow him on all platforms and bases, because I'm just over it. Enough is just enough. And I don't want, like I said before in a video previous to this one, what I'm not going to do is subject myself to ignorance and stupidity and lack thereof, true knowledge and wisdom. I'm not going to subject myself to things that make me angry or enraged. That's what I'm trying to leave behind. I work too hard to leave that type of emotion behind for anybody else, whether it's through YouTube or in person or whatever, to mess that up for me. So no. So that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Unsubscribe, unfollow, block, bye. Cause I can't. Like, what in the world? Literally the world. What is going on? What is going on with the people? Y'all confusing the people who are trying to draw closer to God. You confusing me, so I know you confusing him. Like, cut it out. Cut it out. Let's be real. Let's keep it real here, and just, it gotta stop. But that's all I'm coming on here to say, because when I tell y'all, boy, this was about to go for real in a whole different direction. This video about to go in a whole different direction. YouTube probably would have shut me down. I ain't lying. YouTube would have probably shut me down. And he probably would have shut himself down for a few days and recharged and got himself together, because it's just banana. This is crazy. God don't bless the profane. People who use profanity or who are profane is of the world, and nothing good comes from them, and they're not going to be blessed. What? Bruh. Gotta laugh to keep from crying. I ain't lying. That's a bar. Somebody put that in the song. Y'all hit me up. Pay me my coins. No, I'm just playing. But ooh, yeah, I got some work to do. Got some work to do, don't we? You see that? I know you see it. Do you approve? Child, I tell you. People, the audacity. This isn't suitable for my child to watch. Put on a shirt. Even though, sir, you've been doing this for years before I came on your platform. Just stop it, because I say stop it. Or, ma'am, or sir, you're not gonna be blessed because you're profane. And yeah, God don't work like that. Because I sit on the throne next to him. Like, I stand next to him while he's on the throne, and he told me that. What? What? Yeah, please. Because if I can testify, God has done some things for me, honey. Blessings on blessings on blessings on blessings, and he's always been right on time. Anytime I feel like he wasn't gonna come through, that last day, something I could need something, and that last day that come upon it when it's like a deadline and I gotta have it, and I be stressing out, and I'm like, oh Lord, you don't hear me, you don't hear me, what's going on, where are you? And that last day, that day right there that I needed, right on time, I'm like, so if the profane don't get blessed, then I don't know who does. Please tell me, let me know. If Nipsey Hussle wasn't blessed, then I don't know who can be. Like, because from what I saw, for someone to go back, like he said, and buy up a whole block and a whole strip to, like he said, where people, the manager of a store kicked him out because they accused him of stealing, him and his friends of stealing for the fact that they were black. And he was able to go back and buy out the whole block and create buildings for young minorities to become entrepreneurs and learn about entrepreneurship, and give scholarships to those who had the best layout and platform provided or shown or demonstrated to them, to tell them basically that they are deserving and worthy of them giving them that scholarship to start off their business. But people who are profane don't get blessed. Not only that, people who are profane aren't able to start a whole clothing line that's still being sold and still being recreated to this day because they profane. Who still got people who are talking about people who don't get blessed because they're profane, wearing his paraphernalia and wearing the clothes and his clothes on their backs and on their bodies. You don't get blessed though. You don't get blessed for small things like that. You don't get blessed. You don't get to see your blessings. You don't get to see it because you're profane. Child, be blessed. Let me end this video right here because we ain't trying to tap back into no anger or anything like that. That's surpassed. All right, it's in the past. Yeah. PC. Sorry I had to put a thumbs down on your video, but it wasn't for you or towards you or directed towards you. It was the fact that you even had to go and apologize for you not having a shirt on because somebody decided that day that they wanted to involve their kid with watching your video. And whoever, it may have been multiple people from what it seemed like. I think it was multiple people. If you see this video, then yeah, it was multiple people, I think. Right, okay. But to all of them, like, what? And then even if it wasn't about the child, for some of the other people, the fact that they told you to put on a shirt, that just goes to show that their flesh is flesh and that they can't personally control their emotions and their feelings looking at you talk about Christ and talk about certain things that transpired in your life and your childhood. Like, I don't want to say traumas for you, but like your childhood like experience and how people would treat you and stuff like that. If they can't get the overall message simply because you have your shirt off, which is something that's normal for you in most of your videos, then that's their problem. Seriously, that is their problem, not yours. People are just getting ridiculous. Because I watched the video with no problem. I ain't lying to you. I watched the video with no problem and I paid attention to the message. I was able to receive and process your overall message and what you were on there for. Come on now. Come on now. Next they're going to say they want you to wear a shirt when you go to the pool. Sir, can you put your shirt on because you're at the pool? Like, people you just have to understand, people are always going to have something to say. People are always going to have something to say. And it's going to be up to you to allow them to determine how your life is going to be, if you're going to continuously listen to them on the outside or if you're going to talk to God. Now, if God tells you to continuously put your shirt on, then you listen to God. And that's going to be something that God has told you to do, not what other people who are on this earth walking has told you to do. That's going to be direct between you and him. But as far as other people, you're going to have to choose that lane. You're going to have to choose if you allow them to dictate where you're going and how you should behave and how you should act and what you should say and how you should talk and what you should and should not do. You're going to have to choose that path. But I'm pretty sure you're very wise. You're a wise young man. So I'm sure you'll choose the right thing. And you know which direction to go. But people is just crazy to me. People just crazy to me. But what I'm gonna do is, y'all, I don't know, when I talk, I put on lip gloss and stuff, and when I talk, I start to get this white line, even like when I exfoliate my lips and stuff. Please, if anybody can, like, how do I avoid this and what is the cause of this? Maybe because I'm not drinking enough water like I should be or like I usually would. I just been drinking smoothies but no water. And coconut water, I bought this thing, coconut water. I was trying to think of the brand. Harvest Farmers, I think. And I think I got that from PC as well. Harvest Farmers. And I don't really like coconut water, but I've been drinking it, trying to force myself to what is the word I'm looking for? To like acquire the taste, but I don't like it. But I know it's good for you, so I'm gonna keep trying to force myself to like it. And if I just can't tolerate it anymore, if it just becomes too intolerable, then I'll try to find or substitute it with some child. I don't know. But anyways, all right. I'm going to exit about this video and start cleaning some people out my subscription thing. And my Instagram and Facebook. I don't think I follow a person on Facebook, so I ain't got to worry about that. But in general, everybody getting swiped out. Anybody that upsets me, you're getting swiped out. But then at that point, if I'm swiping everybody out, then I need to go back to therapy or something, because at that point it's like, okay, sis, you gotta take a back seat and evaluate yourself, sis. But yes, y'all, let me get up off this thing and I will talk to y'all later gators. Oh, one last thing. Y'all, my nails looking crazy on my right hand, so if y'all saw my hand go out and y'all see it look crazy, so that's why I've been having it down. Only been talking with my left hand. I gotta do something with this hand, child. But before I get off of here, while I'm just rambling, thank you, God. Praise be to God that Damar Hamlin is okay, y'all. That's what we need to be worried about, stuff like that. Hey, whimper your words. Hey, whimper your words. Hey, whimper your words. Hey. For everybody who actually real life sent up prayers for the boy, for that young man, for that young black king. Appreciate that, seriously, because I was just like, I ain't even posting them because I ain't want to post nothing until God pull this young king through. Boy, I'm so ready to see that boy testimony. Is gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna go stupid. But for real, I'm so excited. I'm so happy for him, and it's just such a beautiful thing. I've been posting him on my story and posting things that it was just moving through my spirit, and I'm just like, God, I already know he's gonna be okay, but I just need you to, for real, come through, pull through, so that the world can see the God that you are. To be honest, real talk, I didn't even sleep that night. I didn't sleep that night because I was really worried about him. And I tell y'all, I'm such an empath. I am really like such an empath. So I didn't sleep because of him, and then because I was worried about my brother, because nobody can get in contact with that boy. And for those who don't know, which y'all don't know because I didn't say, but he went back to Florida. So all that, my parents spent like $1,200 on his flight. He was here for a week. We had the privilege of spending Thanksgiving with him, and then he darted back off again. So, been dealing with that too. That's why I say people don't even know what people be going through, and then they just get on here and want to talk stupid and reckless and out the side of their necks. Like, get a life. Mr. Holier Than Thou. Mrs. Holier Than Thou. All of y'all. But yeah, so that was a relief. And then I did talk to my brother too. It's my baby. He actually sent me some money, y'all. So I was just like, okay, this thing. But I didn't even ask. He sent it at like 3 in the morning, so I called him at 3:30 in the morning, and I was just like, bruh, I'm glad you're okay. You could have called me and told me, but the only reason why I know you're okay because you sent money, and it went to my, and it tells me everything that goes. Shout out to my bank. It tells me every time something happens on my account. So don't try it. But no, hurry up. All right, y'all. Period. But yeah, so I didn't even sleep. I was just thinking about him and thinking about him. I'm so glad. And I know I posted a picture of him before, but I'm going to take it off because I found a better one that I like that is actually on his page. And I like that one better. It just looks more classier. So I will post that one. So if y'all say, why is she posting 2 pictures? Or what happened to the other picture? Why it's not here? It's because I like that one more. Period. That's it. Nothing spectacular as to why. Just because I like it more. But it looks more professional. But all right, y'all, for real. Let me get off of here because I'm rambling now, and I don't even know. It's like 7 something, so I'm probably not gonna eat. I try not to eat around like 7, like anytime after 7:30, because I'll be ready to get into bed and just chillax. And I done ate all my fruit. Oh, I still have some blueberries. Yeah, I guess I'll just eat some blueberries and drink some regular water, not no coconut water. And yeah, y'all, I have to do that because I don't like that line, and I can't really tell half the time I'm doing my videos that it's there. I think it's there, but I don't know why. Maybe, yeah, I'm gonna just need to start back drinking some water, maybe. But I love y'all. It's this quote by Christian Keys. He say, "Love y'all, mean it." And then there's this quote by Devon Franklin that says, "Love you, and there's nothing you can do about it." And I like that. I'm gonna have to come up with my own little line, or I might have to steal theirs. Don't get me, y'all. I like what y'all be saying. Love you. Love y'all, and there's nothing y'all can do about it. Bye. Till next time, y'all. Stay up. Keep your head up. Raise your head up. You got this. Don't let people steer you away from making progress and turn you away from Christ. Just keep trucking. Keep going forward. If you allow people to dictate your life and what you're worthy of and what you're not worthy of, or what your value should be, and it's not coming from God himself, and it's coming from people here on earth with everybody else here on earth, disregard the ignorance, okay? Disregard the ignorance and just keep pushing forward. Like, don't stop. You're on the right track. Stop listening to what these people got to say. It's just stupidity. And it shows that they have a lot to learn, even in their older age. Like, they have a lot to learn as well. So, yeah. Boasting and bragging and stuff. How these quotes, them people done see it. My grandfather done see it. My granny done see it. My daddy done see it when I was probably like 9 to 10 years old and had the nerve. Bye, y'all. Bye.